Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning. My name is Philippe Lions. I'm working in the product management team of Oracle Analytics, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. All right, welcome everyone to this session. Today, I would like to spend a few moments with you discussing how augmented analytics can bring a lot of value to your business processes by bringing in business agility. It is clearly visible over the past decade that business agility has become a critical factor of success for many organizations, right? What it means is to be agile within your own business processes to make the right decision quickly to take the right action. It's actually even a factor of competitiveness. And according to analysts, as we can see on the slide, it's a factor of survival for many businesses. Becoming business agile invariably requires getting faster, better, pertinent analytics for your business users, for all of your business processes. No matter which domain you're into, getting faster and better insights in a timely manner will help you make better decisions. So this sounds all very trivial and very simple, but it's actually not so simple to achieve in reality. And in particular, it's not so simple to achieve this in a robust way and to sustain it at an enterprise level across a whole organization. Uh, it's actually very complex to achieve this. Why? Why is it so complex? What does it take to achieve this and get agile business insights? Well, first, it's all about data, right? We are all surrounded by data. We have data all over the place. But which data is the right one to look into? How should it be joined with other data sets? What are the columns to analyze in a given data set? What are the ones that are going to be the most meaningful for the insights we're searching? What are the transformations that we need to do on a data set to make it appropriate? Second, as simple as the question of where is the insights that we're looking for? Where are the insights that we're looking for, right? What is the problem that we're trying to spot? Is it something trending or a seasonality that is switching over time? Are we comparing two regions or two products across some sales data? A change in structure into some ratio in our statements? What is it that we're really hunting for? Right? There is an ocean of meaningful possible insights that can be derived from any data set. And even if we know all of this, even if we know what we're looking for, how do we accomplish this in the analytics product? Not just Oracle Analytics, just any analytics product. How do we run all the necessary calculations? How do we compute all of this data transformation? How do we explore the data in a fluent manner quickly to find where the most interesting insights resides? And most importantly, how do we scale this across our organization, across the entire enterprise, across all the business analysts in a collaborative manner? How do we do this? This is not simple and requires a lot of technical skills. And finally, even if we spot the insight, even if we find out what's really relevant and meaningful, we still have to visualize it and share it and communicate it. And that's another set of skills. So getting agile with data and insights, for as simple as it sounds conceptually, it's actually very hard to achieve across the organization over time. It requires a lot of skills. So how can Oracle Analytics help with this process? Well, in many ways. First, I forgot the most important thing, which is that entire process here is actually taking a lot of time eventually. Even for skilled people who know all of these technical who own all of these technical skills, achieving that complete process takes a good chunk of time. Getting from gross data to meaningful insights and in a way that they can be shared and actioned immediately is costly in time, no matter what. So like I was saying, how can Oracle Analytics help in that process, in that direction? In many ways. So first, Oracle Analytics is part of an integrated, broader platform called Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. In that sense, it's actually natively integrated with many other domains such as applications, security, data governance, data storage, infrastructure, many other analytics, AI or ML platforms as well. So these native integrations within Oracle Analytics give it a complete robustness and a real enterprise profile. So whatever you can do with Oracle Analytics, you can scale it up at an enterprise level, which is very important. It's part of the factor of success. Second, Oracle Analytics has been designed from ground up to address all the different three layers of analytics needs. These layers have appeared over time and have matured. And the one on the left here starts with governed analytics, which is enterprise analytics. Analytics built by central department IT, building semantic layer, single source of truth for reports, dashboards of all sorts to be consumed and shared by users. So this is the central analytics as we've known it for many years, which is still very critical in the enterprise analytics needs. But as the second one, the middle, which Oracle Analytics addresses perfectly in a seamless way, in the same single interface as the first one, is the self-service analytics. So enabling business users to come on top of this central enterprise semantic layer, bring their own data set, mash them up, do their own analysis, do their own self-service insights very easily, very quickly, being very agile with it, to come with their own questions and address them right away within minutes. So that's the agility, that's part of the agility that we're talking about. This has been something Oracle Analytics has been recognized for several years at this point. And finally, the third one that Oracle Analytics is providing is augmented analytics. So augmented analytics is the capability of the platform to be proactive and provide users with suggestions, with visualizations, with advanced analytics, AI-based advanced analytics, proactively, without requiring the user to know the product, to know its data, to know how to build things. The augmented analytics will simply look at the data for us, apply AI behind the scenes, and come back with insights, come back with machine learning results, come back with suggestions for preparation, for instance, data transformations, instead of the user. So the user only has to click and consume the result of that augmented analytics. So that's very powerful, and that's what I would like to mostly focus on today, the augmented analytics part. So what is it made up of within Oracle Analytics? A couple of features that I've listed on this slide. There is a capability that we call Auto Insight. It's a single click feature in Oracle Analytics that for any data set that you come in with, the system will offer a variety of insights that are most meaningful for you as a business user. So you don't have to worry about what you're looking for, which data is the right one, how to compute all of these insights, and how to visualize them. This is all encapsulated, and within a few seconds, you will get a ton of different insights delivered to you, which you can just pick and choose and reuse right away. I'll show you this in a moment. These are all pertinent visualizations that have a business meaning for you as a business user. So it's saving you a lot of time from the data upload to basically being done designing all of these, exploring and designing all of these insights. Another feature is called single click explain. So this is a set of different machine learning algorithms that will investigate the column that you're clicking on to figure out different specific business insights related to, well, first of all, its statistical distribution, What are the key drivers that drive it? What are the segments that we can discover based on that column? What are the anomalies that we can discover based on that columns? And the list is growing. We're still working on this, but I'll show you this also in a moment. We have other augmented analytics capability as part of our Oracle Analytics. Very exciting, in my opinion. Like the ability to run machine learning and advanced analytics with a single click. I'll give you an example. Here is my population of warehouses, and I present them on a scatter plot, and I can ask analytics with a single click to cluster them according to different matrices. And the cluster that are defined can easily be reused in other analysis. So I can look at customers and cluster them automatically without having to learn about any clustering algorithm myself. See visually that these clusters make sense on a scatter plot, and simply consume this cluster on a different visualization that has nothing to do with it, cross-analyzing how this cluster make up on profit, on cost, or on any other service metrics that I would be interested in. So that's enabling not only to calculate advanced analytics, but also to consume it in a different context right away. It's very, very powerful. And eventually, data recommendations, which are as soon as I upload some data in the system, there is going to be an introspection of it, and the system will tell me, look, we've identified a few columns here that we suggest you could break down, or we suggest you could transform, or run additional extensions to these columns because we're familiar with that type of column, and here's what we typically see as adding value to analytics. So this is all encapsulated, and it's also customizable as part of the analytics process. These are very powerful augmented analytics features and capabilities. So let me show you a few of them with a little bit more detail. I mentioned about Auto Insight. So Auto Insight starts from a blank page, a data that has freshly been uploaded, and jumps into a complete set of dashboards, which you can see on that screen, for instance, with dozens of different insights on that given data set. No matter what data is in it, no matter how many columns it has, it will find various visualizations that make meaningful, pertinent business sense to me as a business analyst. And it won't expect that I have any knowledge of my data, nor that I have any skills with Oracle Analytics. I will just have to click and pick the charts that I'm interested in, and voila, it'll be a dashboard that is ready to consume. So let me go and show you a quick demo of Auto Insights. So this is my Oracle Analytics homepage here, and I'm going to upload a data set, and I'm actually a business analyst, and here's my sales data, my Excel sales data, which I'm not familiar with, but I'm just going to drop it on Oracle Analytics. I have zero knowledge of the product, and I have no knowledge of my data itself, but I am in a hurry to get some insights out of it. Okay, so I'm dragging my Excel spreadsheet into Oracle Analytics. Here's just bringing it into the system to start with. All right, so this is uploading my data into Oracle Analytics. I can see different columns here that I have. Let me give it a name and say okay. And right there, that's it. We've created a data set into Oracle Analytics, and we can see already that the system is listing this data, is giving us a little bit of visualizations at the top, giving us some distribution information. On the right of the screen here, I can see as well some recommendations that it found about different columns, suggesting to extract some data out of time or date, different transformation that it suggests we could do with it. And if I zoom into a column here, I could do all sorts of operations, transformation, filtering, but I am not skilled with it. I could change aggregation, I could change type of column. There's a lot I could do here if I knew how to use it, but as far as I'm concerned here, I'm not going to change any of these aggregation rules nor column types. I'm just going to click and go creating a workbook with this data. So this is now loading me into the canvas of Oracle Analytics where we create visualizations. And as you can see at the top, there's this little bulb icon, which is white at this point, and it's telling me that the system is discovering is in the process of discovering insights. So something is going on. Meanwhile, while it's running, I can simply click on columns and start building visualizations. It's quite simple. I select columns and I click on create best visualization, and this pulls on my canvas, and I can see distribution of sales here and profit by ship mode or by customer segment. That's fine. But if I go manually, it may take a while before I get to understand what is interesting to look at in this data set. I may have to do a lot of visualization and shoot in the dark. If I keep looking at that bulb, it shouldn't be too late before it turns yellow. It actually just turned yellow right now, indicating that that's it. It found some insights. So if I open it now and expand it, I will see a different series of visas that it already found with this data. So an introspection process went on behind the scenes and pulled out some visas that it found interesting with it. And I don't have to know about any of these columns. It came by default. So if I look a little closer to this first top chart here, this is about order priority, and there is one order priority, and this is about profit by order priority, and we can see that the yellow line here is really sticking up out of the rest of the line. If I want a little bit more information, there's a tooltip. It's a little small to read, but it's saying visualization compares different dimensions or members of that dimension for the profit over time, and we found out that it was some contrast, so we thought it would be of interest to you to see that this line was sticking out. Well, that's of interest to me, and what I could do with it is simply pick it and bring it into my canvas by clicking on the plus sign. It adds up in the background. Below here is one about seasonality. So this is profit value, which clearly over time, over many years, has a distribution that is skewed towards the end of the year. It seems like in November, we're doing most of our profit. Well, that's interesting. It would have taken me a while to get to this if I had to build it on my own, because I suspect that there is some calculation going on to measure that. So that's of interest. That's business value for me. So let me pick that chart as well into my canvas. And I can go on and scroll down the list of insights that were found, just picking up the different visas that I'm seeing when I like them. Here's a forecast one. Here's a cluster one with cities. Let me pick both of these because I'm interested in that information, but also I'm interested in how it was built with Oracle Analytics, so I can repeat it. So here's a mixed chart showing the split of product category over time. So I can go on like this and build my own little dashboard simply by clicking on different visas that the system offers to me. And as I pick them, I'm making up my own dashboard, which you can see here on the page. And that dashboard is exactly as if I had built it on my own myself. So basically, the interactiveness between the charts comes there by default. If I click on one value here, the entire dashboard is going to update with filters just for that value. So let me click on another one. You can see that this is completely interactive. I can do with any charts. If I click on that cluster chart here and select a few dots, the entire dashboard will just show only for the few dots. Doesn't matter that this was generated by Auto Insight. It's a viz just like I would build it myself manually. And of course, dragging the visas has also brought across the calculations that are necessary to support this visa. So not only do I have business insights, but I also have template of visas here that I can reuse for other purpose, or I can learn also from it. But let's say that maybe I'm not so interested into these metrics that the system has provided, and maybe profit is not really what I'm interested in, but maybe something else on my data set. Let me reopen that bulb and let me go on the settings here, right? So here I can see exactly what columns the system decided to present to me. Profit and discount. Well, that's great. There's a reason for this. There is AI behind the scene that kind of figured that these columns were the most meaningful for me to look at. But in my case, I'm interested with the other columns. So I'm interested with sales and let's say shipping cost. Maybe I'm in the shipping department. And I can do this for various columns. So time, there are two different times, but I'm going to keep the one that we've found. Maybe I am not interested with the dimensions that the system selected, but I'm interested with other dimensions. Maybe I don't want cities, maybe I want product category, and let's say product container. I can simply force the system to look at specific columns and ask for the AI beyond the scene to recompute a set of visas and rank them and present to me the ones that are the most meaningful. And here we go. Here's a new list of visas with also contrasted insights that I can look at and pick and choose and just add to my canvas. So again, same paradigm. There's an explanation of what each visa is about, which I can highlight. The calculations will come across, and I can just do my own little market here and pick the ones that I'm interested in and follow up with that. So again, that iteration I can do multiple times, close, and again, this is completely interactive. Doesn't matter that it came from one cycle or another cycle of Auto Insights. We have the same drilling capabilities, the same filtering capabilities. So if I look at the entire dashboard just for what happens in December across every year, let's pick November as well. We have a dashboard here that is totally interactive. I could actually already find some nice insights with contrasts value. Explanation is part of every viz. I can simply share this with all of you here in the call so that you can look at it and I can communicate with it, share my insights. Within minutes, we've been able to start from a data set that we were not familiar with. We've been able to find meaningful insights out of it in a visible way, in a way that we can communicate. And we can easily share that interactive dashboard within the organization. Or we could refine it, we could take ownership of it, change a few metrics, maybe look at some calculation, adjust them, and get kick-started with Oracle Analytics very, very quickly and get real meaningful insights within minutes. That's what I meant by augmented analytics helping business agility across the enterprise. Remember, I was not familiar with Oracle Analytics when I started this demo, and I got to this point within minutes without requiring any knowledge of my data or any knowledge of building business with Oracle Analytics. So that's real agility for me as a business analyst. So that was Auto Insight, contributing to business agility and hence business value. Another quick demo that I'd like to share with you is Oracle Analytics Explain. So Oracle Analytics Explain is a little bit more focused in the sense that it lets you focus on one given column to begin with, and it'll pop up with a lot of analysis exactly on that column. So it'll give you all sorts of measures such as descriptive statistics, but also key drivers, so ML algorithm-driven key driver segmentation and anomalies. This is all ML running behind the scenes very quickly so that you can get the benefit of it, the business benefit of it, without paying the technical price for it. So I have no knowledge of ML myself. I understand what key drivers mean, but I don't know how to achieve this. So let's see a demo of this also quickly to have an idea on what I mean by this. Let me go to my demo. Hopefully the screen won't die on me this time. So now I am again that business analyst, and here's my data set that we loaded a few minutes ago. And here is a column called ship mode, and I clicked on it. And I have a menu with it. And let's say that, to follow up on our analysis, we would like to have a little bit more information about ship mode itself. And we can see that there is this explain menu at the bottom here. So let me actually click on explain ship mode. This is popping up a window with some descriptive information about ship mode. We can see that it has 3 values: delivery truck, express air, and regular air. And regular air is about 75%. We can see that we have 9,000 rows. That's a basic distribution. And if I scroll down a little bit, I will see also how my different metrics in the data set distribute across ship modes. So we can see, for instance, profits, but we can see also shipping costs here, which have a distribution that is different. So I may be interested in some of these visas, so I'm going to pick them right away, select them, so I bring them into my canvas. If I go to key drivers here, there is another algorithm that is run in the back and that is showing me for ship mode, which is the color light blue, dark blue, and orange, what are the other columns that mostly have a correlation with ship mode? So we can see, for instance, in the last chart that product category, so actually it's at the top here, we can see product category, product container, product subcategory, but let me select the product category one, which is the last chart here, which we can visibly see that delivery truck here is actually used widely for furniture and office supply uses a regular air, which makes sense, but that's kind of a correlation that we can find. Let's go next with segmentation here. And what we see here is a different set of segments. So this feature that I'm showing here on segmentation is just about to ship in the product. It's an enhancement of the current one that we have today. So that will be in the next release of OAC. But what we can see here is different segments. So each bar at the top represents a segment. We see 20 of them. So why don't we just make this a little larger? See, let's say 50 segments, for instance. So the system has computed and found combinations of records in the data set that had a coherent, unusual value for ship mode. So clusters of groups of records that show a higher proportion of a given ship mode versus the whole data set, or a lower proportion of a given ship mode. So exceptional groups of records defined by a few criteria. So for instance, we can see here that, in fact, we can see on the segment one that delivery truck, there is a segment of 460 rows of delivery truck, that's 5% of the whole data set. That is used, or that value of delivery truck is very frequent when products are furniture and when profit is lower than some value. I can't read it. I think it's 107. Well, it's pretty trivial. We knew that furniture or product category would have an impact on segmentation. So let me actually go and fix this, go in the settings and ask the system to recompute segments, but without taking into account product category or anything that has to do with product. And let me also ask to not consider shipping cost nor gross unit price. And let me run apply. Segmentation will come back with new segments this time. And it found segments for delivery truck or regular air. So let me, for instance, say that we only want segments about regular air. So we're going to see just segments with regular air. And here we can see some segments, of course, less than 50 at this point, that are segment 6 and segment 14, for instance, where we can see are made up of different criteria. Quantity ordered between 20 and 11. And this one is quantity ordered and order date being Monday. Let me pick these two segments and let me now complete my explain and add this to my canvas. So here I can see that I have all of my visas that I clicked around, and I can already use them and share them just like we did with the auto explain dashboard. But most importantly, if I bring other analysis of my own into the dashboard, let's say we want a measure of profit by month, that's a different analysis that I built on my own. Let me actually shuffle it in the dashboard so that it's a little nicer to look at. Then I can use, for instance, the definition of my segment here to filter on all of these visas. Let me see that entire dashboard just for that segment number 6. That's the list. These are all the values of my dashboard just for this segment. Let me do the same for the other segment. I can see my business data split and visualize just for a segment that I just calculated with Explain in analytics. I can use the visas that I dragged from analytics Explain into my canvas and take action with them. Not only segmentation, but also key drivers and obviously descriptive statistics. So this is, and by the way, I could also drill into the details here and go to say, let's say customer ID and show us the customer ID for that make up that segment of 97 order IDs, right? So this is one way for business users using Explain to invoke machine learning and advanced AI very easily, retain results of this, consume them, action them without having to know anything. Did we even suspect what are the algorithms running behind the scenes to do this? Not at all. I didn't have to know anything, just the functional value of doing some segmentation, just the functional value of understanding what key drivers are. And I drag this into my canvas and I can consume them, take action, share them with my peers right away. Took us again a few minutes to get there, but we didn't have to train any models, nor did we have to understand how to do this. So that's the business agility and the business value that Oracle Analytics can bring. So I'm running at the limit of time here, so I'm going to stop here. But just for the here's some link where you can find further information about Oracle Analytics. And to conclude my session, I just want to remind you that augmented analytics as part of Oracle Analytics is very powerful, has a lot of AI and intelligence built within it, and surfaces as a very single click for business end users to gain agility with their own processes and therefore derive a lot of business value. Thank you.